Hello, it's me, Joey, and today I will try my best to explain how to beat this damned stage, which some new Limbus players find quite difficult to beat. So first of all, you want to be level 35 on your IDs, but it's not necessary. As you can see, I have some level 33, 29, but it is highly recommended to have your IDs leveled up. I will explain this quickly. Basically, every 3 levels equals to approximately 1 Clash power up. And yeah, that is not good, because if you are under leveled, she will be rolling higher numbers. So yeah. So for the first turn, it's a normal fight, but I'll give you a small tip. It needs to use the offset mechanic that some of you might know about. So what offset is basically using a defensive skill on top of another defensive skill, which will basically cancel each other's. I highly recommend to cancel her evade because it inflicts blooming, which pretty much is at 5 count get staggered. But that's really it for the first turn at least. And okay, you made it the second turn. This is when things get interesting, because she'll be casting attack weighted skills more often, but what we really care about is the green skill. So what does this green skill do? As you can read, it inflicts 3 blooming on use, which means you don't have to get hit, it will just give it to you as soon as you start a clash. So you wanna be really careful with who's clashing against that skill, especially if they already have blooming, because if they have 2 or more blooming, it means they will get staggered automatically. Otherwise, should be another normal turn. I would recommend to offset again, but besides that, it's just your normal turn. And okay, we got to the turn 3. So the scary turn, which really isn't that scary. The animation can be a little bit intimidating, but this isn't really any difficult. This is like turn 1 again, but with more attack slots to deal with. Again, I would recommend to offset the evade, but in this case, I would recommend not clashing against her with the sinners who the evade is targeting. And also, as you can see, Sinclair has some blooming from the previous turn. So for these turns on, only recommendations that I can give you are killing the flowers, and that's really about it. Okay, so turn number 4, here's when you should actually be paying attention. She will be casting 2 of her unused blooming skills, which basically means if you have any sinner who lost a clash or got hit the previous turn, if they have 2 or more blooming, they should not clash against the green skills, because that would mean an insta stagger. Same thing goes if you have a sinner with 2 attack slots. That sinner, if they clash against those 2 skills, would get 6 blooming, which is above 5, which is another insta stagger. But that's really about it. Just pay attention on the blooming you have on your sinners and the blooming you would get if you clash against the skill. Same thing, you should probably offset evades or make sure the evades are not, being used in the scenario you're clashing with. Alright, now we made it to this part, where all the flowers will be casting these blue skills that will make them die upon losing a clash. Otherwise, there isn't much to say. Donbeck will get 10 protection this turn, so attacking her is pretty much useless, but I'll do it just to inflict some sinking and lower her sanity. Okay, you made it here. She will be casting her strongest skills twice, which roll around a 20. So by this turn, you should be able to use at least a base ego or have one of your sinners at max sanity and have a strong skill like Sinclair here. So I will be using Sinclair's skill 2 and Faust's Hexnail ego. You should be able to fuel at least a base ego, which any base ego can beat her skills. But yeah, this turn shouldn't be too hard, just use ego if needed. Okay, now this is just another turn. She's casting her strong skill once and using 2 random skills. Do not confuse these skills with the unused blooming, because these ones are different. These ones do not inflict blooming on use. But again, I would recommend to offset the evade, just to play safe. And we made it here, which should be the final phase in most cases. So she'll be casting that blue skill that will inflict on dueling on the sinner who clashes against it. A little side note, if Jisang is clashing, she will get attack power up. So unless your Jisang is your best team member, you should not make him clash. In this case, I'll use Ishmael. And yeah, so all your other sinners will get a stagger, but do not panic because she will only be using one skill to, duel Ishmael. So after winning 2 clashes, she will get a stagger, and you should be able to finish her afterwards. So after a successful victory in this duel, you should be able to just kill her in the next 1 to 2 turns, unless you lost some team members. Because after winning the duel, all your sinners will heal back to max SP, and they should be able to do as most damage as they possibly can. So yeah, this is really about it. She will probably die in this turn or the next one. Well, I hope this could help at least a little bit. This fight really isn't that hard, but I can understand that having to read passives and attacks is not fun. But yeah, thanks for watching, and that's about it for now. Next video in probably 9 to 10 years. Goodbye!